Welcome back to the Ed Show. The big finish tonight. Republicans violated basic free speech rights by just making sure that a journalist was arrested and led out of the public hearings in handcuffs. The journalist was Josh Fox, who has gone a long way in exposing the truth about fracking, the toxic extraction of natural gas in America. Fox was arrested after Republicans in a committee hearing insisted on enforcing a rule that is routinely ignored for journalists.
Do your duty, officer. Sir, turn that between your body back.
Come on, Mr. Chairman.
What's the decision?
Mr. Chairman, can we discuss this before?
This is a public hearing. This is a public hearing. I'm within my First Amendment rights, and I'm being taken out.
Yes.
Well, but before the meeting's begun, before the subcommittee's had a chance to discuss the issue, this guy's being led away from handcuffs. I would like to move that he be allowed to film it.
Where's the transparency?
Well, then can you gavel the hearing in before this guy was...
Where's the transparency we keep talking about?
Fox was arrested on a charge of unlawful entry. Maybe Republicans just don't like what Josh Fox stands for. Here's a clip from Gasland.
It was the same story, water trouble.
They never had a problem with the water. After they drilled, the water was bad.
Oh, man. Health problems.
I'm never healthy.
Hazardous explosive conditions inside the house.
Whoa. Whoa. Jesus Christ.
Joining me now exclusively on The Ed Show, Josh Fox, Academy Award-nominated documentary filmmaker who directed Gasland and is currently working on Gasland 2. Josh, good to have you on The Ed Show tonight. We saw the video of your arrest, but we want you to describe it from your perspective. What happened? What went down?
Well, I didn't expect to be arrested for documentary filmmaking and journalism on Capitol Hill today. I was prepared for it, but I didn't expect it. I did think that they would come to their senses and just let us film the public hearing. We were there covering a very crucial hearing about a case of groundwater contamination in Pavilion, Wyoming, a 3.5-year investigation by Region 8 EPA, which shows subjects from the first film, Gasland, from Pavilion, with groundwater contamination resulting in 50 times the level of benzene in groundwater. And EPA has pointed in this case that hydraulic fracturing is the likely cause. And what was happening on the Hill today is Republicans have called in the Science and Space and Technology Committee a hearing to challenge science. Their panel was made up of gas industry lobbyists. And we were there to expose what I believe is actually a rather ugly and brazen attack on science itself, on what's happening across the country with hydraulic fracturing and water contamination. So we were there actually doing our jobs as journalists. I was not interested in disrupting that hearing. I was not charged with disrupting the hearing. I was simply interested in capturing on film in a broadcast quality camera what the Republicans were going to be doing right there, putting the EPA and the citizens of Pavilion and everyone across the nation who's complaining of contamination due to hydraulic fracturing on trial. We wanted to make sure that people knew that that was happening.
Yeah, well, the fracking is getting a heck of a lot more of attention because of you, and it is very dangerous, and it needs to be monitored big time. Now, how did the Republicans know it was you? I mean, they just know who you are because of the work you've done? Because I heard on the tape there that seemed to be some congressional members that were arguing that you be allowed to stay.
We went through the proper channels to request permission to enter the hearing. Now, there are some rules about being a credentialed Hill special credentialed journalist, but you can ask the chair of the committee or the committee for permission to film, and we have had that successfully in the past when the Democrats were in control of the House. Since the Republicans took over, we have had obstruction after obstruction getting into Congress, and this time this was something that we've been covering in a very personal way for 3.5 years, and felt, look, I'm going in there because this is the First Amendment. Yeah. This is freedom of speech. The amendment is Congress shall make no law which infringes upon the freedom of the press. That's an abridged part of it. But that means Congress can't pass a law or a rule or a regulation in a subcommittee hearing to obstruct journalists from coming in and exposing to the American people what they're doing.
Are you going to go back?
Am I going back where?
Well, back to more hearings. You're going to do whatever you can to get in there?
Our film is about the influence of oil and gas, Gasland 2, on the United States government. I am sure that we'll be back at other public hearings. We're very close to being finished with the film. And this is incredibly ironic that all these strands have come together, and they're kicking science out of the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
They're kicking science and journalism out of the Science and Technology Committee, and it is really a brazen attack on American civil liberties and, frankly, on our ability to investigate the truth.
Josh Fox, great work. We'll do it again with you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a story that every American needs to hear.
Thanks, Ed. It's great to be out.
You bet. That's the Ed Show. I'm Ed Schultz. The Rachel Maddow Show starts right now.